Right everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, I thought I'd do a video on my UK legal carry knives. So I think there's 23 knives here. 21 of them are definitely UK legal carry without an excuse. Because you can carry other things with, a good reason. And the two others are these bottom two, which I'll go over as well, because I'd like to show you why some may not be legal, because there is a discrepancy in some of the descriptions of what makes it legal and what not. But we'll go over those first. So this is a German army knife, non-locking, very similar to a Swiss Army penknife, just slightly larger. This is a copy of the genuine ones, so this is a Miltech sort of £10 copy, and this is a sort of slip joint folding razor blade type thing, but it's nothing like a real razor blade, but it just looks like one. So originally this one did have a longer blade, which I've cut down, but this could still be slightly suspect, which I'll demonstrate in a second. So let's go over this one first. What makes a knife UK legal carry? The two descriptions are, or were, because it may have been changed now, the police website and the YouGov website say two different things. One says 3-inch cutting edge, one says 3-inch blade. So this knife has a cutting edge less than 3 inches, but a blade longer than 3 inches. In my opinion, I would not carry this because it's too much of a risk knowing that the blade is longer than 3 inches. So there to show you that the actual whole entire blade is over 3 inches, but the actual cutting edge is only 2 3/4. So for that reason I would not carry that. I would only carry a knife that the whole entire blade is under 3 inches. Same with this one. This one is actually a lot closer. So the cutting edge is definitely under 3 inches. Barely even 2 1/4, but from this point here to the tip is exactly 3 inches, which you can see there. But if you measure from lower down here or here, it is actually slightly over 3 inches then by about 1/8 of an inch. But I do think they're supposed to measure from here, not down here, because that would be the limit at which something could be pressed in, although you couldn't with this type of knife anyway. But that's just a little demonstration of what could be legal and sort of what isn't legal. Just a little bit of a demonstration to show you, the issues that can arise. Personally, I would not carry anything where the entire blade is over 3 inches. Right, we're going to my actual collection now. So some of these I may not know the full names, but it's just a little bit of a demo just to show you what kind of things you can buy. So we all know about the old Swiss Army penknives. This one I think is the... I can never remember which one this is. Maybe the Hunter. But it's got the standard blade, the smaller blade, saw, scissors, bottle opener, tin opener, and this is well used. I use this quite a lot for making my quivers that I make. I'll show you the scissors quickly in case you've never seen those. There's the scissors. Again, quite a few of these knives may be a bit dirty because they are actually knives that I use on a regular basis, and this is essentially my work knife. So there's that one. This is a Seamer or Cymer, I'd assume that's Seamer knife. I've been searching for a legal carry knife that had a good torch in it for years. Found this, and had it been a bit better construction, this would have been ideal. It has a 18650 flashlight, so a good flashlight, 3 different modes and a strobe, and then has all your sort of classic Swiss Army penknife blades. And the blades were configured the other way round originally, because you can unscrew this and swap them around. I wanted the blades to be poking out that way, but the only issue is they're very floppy, so you know, there may be a way to get around that if you maybe put some kind of rivet in there and really tighten that up, but that's a little bit too loose to use, really, which is sad, really, because it's a good concept. So this has got blade, tin opener, bottle opener, screwdriver, ruler, fish scaler, file, saw, and a couple of other tools on there. Yeah, good concept, but not very good quality. Aluminium handle. This one, I'm not sure what this is, but this one comes with a little set of screwdrivers which go in just here. You have the blade that does not lock, and a saw that does lock. This is possibly a San Renmu, as far as I remember. Tiny little pocket clip. Yeah, this is a San Renmu. And then on the back you've got sharpened hook, Phillips screwdriver, a couple of flathead screwdrivers, and a tin opener there. Well, I say file, there was a file in there, the file's missing. And you also get a little glass breaker, and I can't tell if this one's got it, but quite a few of these San Renmus actually do have a proper tungsten steel tip on their glass breakers, because if it doesn't have that, it's not going to be very good. Yeah, so there's that. That's okay for what it is. A lot of the San Renmus, I think they're alright knives, but they're hard to get now, sadly. This is a HX Outdoors Bastard Halibut, which is a copy of a CRKT knife, which is discontinued. For anything, this is discontinued as well now. But it fits in your hand nicely. Your fingers actually do sit in those grooves. And this one's got a secret lock, where you take this little Allen key out and put it in there, and then that'll lock it. Whether it's worth carrying with that in is up to you, I suppose, but yeah, it's an option. That's quite a nice little knife. They fit in the hand well. Next one is this is the Lansky Madrock. Looks like a very big knife, but the blade on this is no bigger than a Swiss Army penknife. It's just because of the size of it, it looks massive, but it's not. Probably exactly the same cutting edge as a Swiss Army penknife. It just looks a lot more threatening in a way, but perfectly legal. Steel lined plastic handle, very sturdy. These have got like a half stop. These are very snappy knives, but they do become a little bit looser with time. One thing I like about these, they have a big handle. The problem with a lot of legal carry knives, where they're so small, they have tiny little handles, whereas these don't. They actually do have a nice big handle on them. So there's that one. That's the Madrock. This is the Lansky World Legal. Very similar knife, you know, same company, slightly different shaped blade. Has the half stop and sort of snappy blade. Yeah, it's because it's got a good back spring. This one has got, I'm not sure of the handle scales, but it's got the steel liners that you can actually see. Jimping on the back there. And again, fits in the hand very well because it's got a nice big handle. Both of those I think you can get for around 30 quid, which I think is excellent for a knife like that. This is a little San Renmu, no idea what make or model. There's a few of these little sand Renmus. They're all very similar. They all did used to have little flipper foots on them, but I got a little bit paranoid at one point and took them off of mine. I wouldn't recommend doing that. There is no legal issue with flippers. It's just I wasn't sure at the time. But I'm not really bothered about that because they're just little legal carry anyway, and you couldn't flip them out with the flipper foot anyway because of how tight they are when they're shut. But a lot of these sand Renmus, as I say, come with, they'll have a blade, obviously, dual thumb studs, tip down pocket clip, and a couple of tools at the back, sometimes up to 3, sometimes just 1 like this one. So this one has a screwdriver, a bottle opener, and a little glass breaker. But if anyone wants to know the specific names of any of these, just ask, and I can tell you the little code on the back there to tell you the specific model. So that's that one. This is another little sand Renmu. This one's lost its little rubber bit on one side. Again, this would have had a flipper on, but it doesn't flip it out. I think the flipper foot on these was to be more of a little guard. So different shaped blade on this one, dual thumb studs, single tool on the back, no glass breaker. But an alright little legal carry knife, and very non-threatening. This is a bird, can't remember the model of this one. I think this is the bird Turn. These are lovely little knives actually. Tip up pocket clip, 2 position. You got the thumb hole to open it, little finger choil. Yeah, very nice little knife. Fits in the hand well, because you can come up closer to the blade. It still sort of fills the hand quite well. So there's that. That is the bird Turn, I think. This is a true utility Swiss Army type knife. Bought this years ago. Not bad quality for a sort of non-Swiss Army Victorinox Wenger sort of knife, because a lot of these type of things aren't very good quality. But this one's not bad for what it is. So you get the standard blade, scissors, pliers, screwdriver and bits. There's a saw in there, I think. File. And then you get your sort of tin opener, bottle opener ones on the end there. Yeah, I don't know if you can still get these, but for what that is, I always thought that was reasonably well done, because most, as I say, non-Wenger Victorinox sort of multi-tools like this are usually crap. This one I have no idea the make of it. I would just look up pliers penknife. You can still get these. This one has held up really well. It did have a spring for the pliers, but that's broken. But that doesn't really bother me anyway, because I used to get in the way half the time. But this has held up really well and had a lot of use. But because it's just stainless steel and rivets, still holds up. So you get the pliers. There's a Phillips screwdriver there. Tin opener. There's a little screwdriver under there. There's the main blade. And a sort of saw and file there. Yeah, these are good. If you can get these cheap, if you can get them for about a tenner, they'd be worth chucking in a bug out bag or something like that, because you've got quite a few tools on and very, very, very little to break. And I have done some heavy cutting with these pliers as well. Now, they're not the best pliers ever, but they do not break and they still work. So, yeah, they're pretty good for what they are. Right, so we've got another little San Renmu here. Again, this one did used to have a flipper at one point. This is a nice little Tanto version. This one's got the blade, dual thumb studs, single position clip, but for me, tip down, when I hold a tip down, a knife with a tip down clip, I don't tend to notice it so much if it's there. If it's here, it seems to irritate my hand more and I end up taking them off. I don't use clips on knives anyway. So that's the main blade. This one has bottle opener, screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, sharpened hook, and the tungsten steel tip glass breaker there. Again, if you want any model names for these, let me know and I'll get it for you. Although I think I've not seen these San Renmus for sale for quite a while. This one, I can't remember the name of this one. It's got quite a few different names. Might come under name Promethei or Prometheus. This one was bought from Blades and Bows, I think. But yeah, no name on this, no marks, no nothing really. But yeah, you can get this in quite a few different places. Full metal construction, all steel. Quite a sturdy little knife. This is a copy of the British Army knives. This is I can't remember where I bought this one from, but it cost around about 12 quid. It's okay for 12 quid. I'd rather have an original one. It's already got a little bit of a split in the plastic, and that was after about having it for less than a week. But yeah, for a little copy, just so you've got one, better than nothing. So it's got the marlin spike, or whatever it's called. Got the blade there, and the tin opener and bottle opener. It's okay, it's probably worth a tenner, but not much more than that, so don't pay more than that. And then you've got the great big lanyard hook thing there. And it's alright. I reckon getting an original one would be better, or one of these ones, but I don't know how much the price would be. So this is a much better version than this one. This is an actual Sheffield version one, genuine British Army knife one, but a modern one. I did see Jim M was talking about his new one of these recently. Jim's seemed to be a lot worse than this one. This one was given to me by SAK94. The marlin spike has been slightly modified because I think it had a slight sort of curved tip on it. Doesn't have a half stop. The blade is reasonable. It stays open well, but it's not like the old ones where you really try to click it around. But this has a tiny little bit of blade play, but the actual handle is proper rock solid. And then there's the tin opener. But yeah, this seems a lot better than the one that Jim showed. Maybe they do different versions of them, but although I doubt this is anywhere near the quality of the original World War II ones, and around that time, it's okay. My one is. Maybe there's different quality versions of them. Another San Renmu. Now this one was bigger than this originally. This was a non-legal carry knife at one point. The blade was about this long, making it too long, so I actually modified the blade, which is another thing you can do, which I'll show you with the next two knives, this one and this one, that if you do ever get hold of slip joints where the blade is too long, you may as well cut down the blade, grind down the blade to make it legal carry. And one thing it does do though, it leaves a lovely big handle. So you see the size of that handle? Because the blade was a lot longer originally, yeah, it means you get a nice big handle. So this one has the tip down pocket clip, which most of the San Renmus have, dual thumb studs, sharpened hook, and the bottle opener and Phillips screwdriver, and a glass breaker with a tungsten steel tip. Yeah, not bad little knife. I quite like that one, in all honesty. Oh, and it does have a dual position clip as well. But yeah, that's not how it looked originally. Had more of a sort of clip point blade originally. This one, I can't remember the name of these knives. This had a much bigger blade, completely different shape to this. But again, it was a slip joint, so I thought I may as well make it legal carry. This one had a big sort of curved clip point blade, as far as I remember. But you can find these in multiple places. But the blade did not look like that, and it didn't have those thumb studs either. But it's just something you can make if you wanted to. And again, because it's got a handle that was for a lot bigger blade, fills your whole hand. And it didn't have this groove here either. I added that. Last little San Renmu. This one didn't ever have a flipper on it, so they don't all have flippers. There's the San Renmu logo. Dual thumb studs, nice little blade, single position pocket clip, Phillips screwdriver, sharpened hook, flathead, bottle opener, and a glass breaker with the tungsten tip again. Reasonably small handle, but you know, this is a traditional slip joint. Well, not really slip joint. These are sort of ball bearing, sort of detents on these ones. But you get what I mean. This one I got recently. Not sure what make this is. There's the logo there and there. Same as a Swiss Army penknife. It's Victorinox. Very small blade on this, but nice big handle. And that is the single blade it's got on that. Not sure if that's a sort of pairing knife or what. So there's that one. Then we've got this CK lamb foot knife. Nice cutting edge there with the lamb's foot style blade. Steel lined plastic handle. Yeah, quite a nice little knife, and similar to this one, it's sort of quite non-threatening with the plastic looking handle and the non-threatening sort of non-pointy blade. Got one more of these sort of hawkbill type blades, or whatever they're called. Verd Max. This one bought for a birthday present. Wooden scales, stainless steel bolsters. No idea where to get that one from. And lastly, little Anglo Arms knife here that may be hard to find now because Anglo Arms haven't changed their name. I've got a video on why that's happening. But yeah, it's quite pathetic really. It's the newspapers and government corporations hounding people like Anglo Arms into shutting down basically, but Anglo Arms have had the sense just to change their name. So yeah, nice little knife. It is small. You know, you're only going to get 3 fingers on it, but yeah, does the job and it is legal. So there you go. That is my entire collection of legal carry knives that I know of. I do definitely have 1 or 2 more Swiss Army pen knives, but they're in bug out bags at the minute, so they're hard to find. I have one of the Swiss Army pen knives that just has the big blade, the little blade, and 2 tools on the back, and maybe another one somewhere. But that's as far as I'm aware. This is all of them. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it helpful. Might have given you some information on laws and stuff like that, and what you know, what can be legal and what isn't. And if you'd like to know the specific names of any of these, just let me know, and I'll look on the knife and all that, and I'll find out the exact name of it, and could possibly even send you a link. Right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, definitely subscribe. I do loads of this kind of stuff, and if you ever wanted to support this channel, you'll see a little video coming up after. Alright, thank you for watching, everyone. See you later.